just building on from what you were saying about how hard it is to find that topic, Yolandi, how would you answer Sipokazi's question there? How do you begin finding a topic that is PhD worthy?
Yes, so that's why. So if you're lucky and you keep your eyes and ears open, you might hear it somewhere, but then obviously you need to continue the research. But I think also is maybe to network with the right people. Surround you with the people that's also maybe doing research, or like the Pete. So that's why I enjoy spending time with Pete, as he's in that mindset. So maybe try to read. Obviously, you have to read. And you're not gonna finish this PhD if you're not gonna sit down and read and read and read and read. And I think the more you read as well, and I made a note of this, I think the better your writing skills will become as well. So your day in and your day out needs to be looking out for the stuff, reading the right stuff. And I think maybe also that's, Pete, where you can also guide us all a bit, is where to go and find that right stuff, go and find the right journal. So I always want to say, when I only registered for my PhD, I got access to the library of the Picker, which is a massive amount of valuable information. So I actually wish I had that a little bit earlier. I was fortunate with the topic, fairly easy, okay? But then I'm going to obviously explore more. But for somebody that don't have a topic, where do they go? Now that, like a library, would be amazing to actually go, because a lot of project proposals or a lot of research at the end will also identify a gap. So that might also be a place for you. So go and maybe see what you're interested in, because I don't think you must select something that doesn't interest you. And like Pete said, this is not just a tick box. This is something you're going to take throughout your career probably, because that's, you're going to become sort of a subject matter expert. Now, people are going to come to you and ask them, or maybe in your day-to-day job. So maybe select some topics that you're interested in and that you're passionate about, and then go and reach a few, maybe not end-to-end PhD documents, that's a bit overwhelming, but maybe a few journals, and just read through it high level and see if they maybe identify some gaps. That might assist you to get some topics as well.
I think that's so powerful, Yolandi, because at the end of pretty much all journal articles, final reports, you'll see a little section at the end there, suggested future work. And those are topics there that the researchers themselves came up with in their own research, but they hadn't included in their scope, and they weren't able or were unwilling to include in their research, and which almost lays the groundwork to confirm that it's a worthy topic. So Koketso, no problem. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you. Yolandi, yes, did give a bit of an intro at the beginning, but Yolandi, just to answer Koketso's question here, I guess you're in both academia and industry, working full-time, studying part-time, very much like I was. But maybe just her question there, is it advisable to do a PhD early in one's career, i.e. soon after master's, without industrial exposure? Your thoughts on that?
Yes. Well, actually, this same mentor I've just referred to, I actually meeting with him on Monday, Louis Karstens, Dr. Louis Karstens. He's got 2 PhD degrees, and at a very early stage in my life, he actually motivated me on a regular basis. And then after a session like this, I'm usually motivated, but he climbs like all the summits, so he's like next level. but I remember when he'll meet with me, and that was early in my career. He would ask me, Yolandi, what's next? What are you going to do next? I'm like, okay, Louis, just calm down a bit. I just want to finish this and this. And I said, then maybe when I'm 40 or 50, I'll maybe do a PhD. I said, no, that's too late. You need to move quickly. So there's a lot of different opinions. And I think I must say the older I get, especially for women, you might get kids and you might get married. So it gets challenging to juggle all of these things. So my kids are now 9 and 11. So I don't have to look after them every day. So I thought, now I've got a little bit of a gap. I've got a bit more me time. So now I'm ready for this. I'm going to do this. I've got a little bit more time. So I think each person, because it does take time, but you're never going to get that ideal time. You're never going to say, now I'm ready. And that's what Pete told me, Les. I said, Pete, maybe I must first wait for this. Maybe. He said, no, go for it. There's no better time than now. So you're not going to get the ideal time to do it. So, but I also want to say, when I sort of made the decision, but I needed some encouragement, like with Pete, just to do it. When I made the decision, I'm going to do it. I almost want to say, now we can debate the percentage to that. And then I'm probably already 20% there. Okay. So you need to make a very clear decision, and you need to be committed to it. So you need to be clear in your head, I'm going to do it now, and I'm committed to it. So if you can't do that, then you're not ready. But again, saying that, it's never going to be an ideal time. So I think if you say like in your academic career or industry and academic, obviously if you're in the industry, you've got a bit more practical, and I think it's going to probably be easier for me personally to get data because I'm giving training. I'm probably going to get a lot of my data there. So that is something that will assist me to do it. And also obviously the practical component. But if you're in the academic, you understand the academic world also quite good. So that might be a pro for you if you're in that area. You know, you understand writing much better. You understand the requirements. You understand research. So the practical component and the data, I think I've got a bit of a head start there. But if you're in the academic, that requires, because this is very much academic, very academic. You know, I think I can have an amazing project out there practically, but it might not comply with the academic requirements.
Yep.
So you need to have the balance between the two of them. But
Yep.
there's not ideal time. I think do it as quick as possible, but make a decision that you can and you're committed to it. In a nutshell.
No, great insight there, Yolandi. Thank you. And just to add a couple of very brief thoughts from my side, I think, you know, the biggest breakthroughs in the world comes at the junction between different fields, different faculties, and between academia and industry. And you get a lot of people in industry that say, oh, academics sit in an ivory tower, and you get a lot of academics you know, that say, well, industry don't understand the theory of the thing. And I really believe that it requires people that are willing to straddle, you know, academia and industry, think through the practicalities on a daily basis, but then carve out the time to properly intellectualize and study and research those topics. But that's not to say you'd have to do it that way. You can do it either as a full-time student and take a break from work, or part-time as you need to. And then I just wanted to come to Joseph's quick question here about finding a PhD topic while you're an undergraduate student. I do think that if you have the vision to do a PhD at that early stage, then it's very helpful if you can create, and Yolandi spoke about a ladder earlier. And a ladder, if you can start the steps on your PhD as early as possible, even with your undergrad or your master's level work, yes, it might be ups and downs, but if it's broadly in the same direction, then if you've done an undergraduate and even master's level research study on something that is more or less related to what you want to do your PhD on, then the groundwork and the topic development and the problem statement and the engagement with the literature and the focus that you've got on that topic before you get there is so much greater. So Yolandi and I almost did our PhDs from cold. You know, we hadn't had formal research academic qualifications in those areas previously. So once again, like we said just now, in your master's report, you would then have a small little section there that says final future work. And then that future work could define your own PhD. You could be the person that continues the work that you started in the master's. Okay, Yolandi, so we're out of time, but we've had some fantastic feedback. So Koketso, thank you very much. Sipokazi also said thank you, Yolandi. Very helpful. So I've put the link to the course in the chat there, so you guys can go and take up that offer. It is free enrollment for the next few days. And a lot of what Yolandi and I have been talking about today, you will get proper, detailed, one-on-one teaching, coaching, and engagement on. And you will see my presentation slides from my research proposal, and you will see my actual research proposal document. So Yolandi, with that, any last final words of encouragement and wisdom and advice for the team?
Peter, I actually quickly want to ask, I think we've got 1 minute left. Now, I think to finish a PhD is quite overwhelming, and I've met some of them, and they seem exhausted after it. How do you get the energy? You finished your PhD, directly thereafter, this is what you do. What is your recipe? How did you do this? How did you stay motivated? How do you keep the energy?
No, I definitely had my down days, and I definitely had the days when I wanted to give up. I definitely did. And I recognized my own human weakness, and I needed to compensate for that with people around me that I could reach out to and just talk it through and just, you know, be vulnerable in my weakness. And that's why, you know, in creating the Student Success Coach as a brand and as a community, I've got a very good sense of what other people like myself, having gone through that journey, will require. And it's not that somebody else needs to solve your problems. You must solve your problem. You made the decision. You must live your life. You must walk the steps in your life as best as they arrive in front of you. But we all need to just have that outlet to get, as you say, the motivation and the encouragement that we need. I will say, Yolandi, that when you do your PhD, just, you know, again, get it done. Don't if you let it delay and you get tired of it and it becomes a drag to keep coming back to, then you won't have any energy at the end to do the publications and to carry on using that PhD to help other people. You'll be tired of it and you won't want to see another journal article or another topic again about it. And one of the very common themes in the Student Success Coach Facebook group and my courses, etc., is this disciplined daily motivation of getting things done. And I really try and aim to give people the practical tips and tricks that keeps them motivated and gets them to the end goal as soon as possible. So Yolandi, and I'm happy to talk about that in more detail with anybody that would need some insights. But the links are all there in the chat. So go and take action, guys. Enroll in the courses. Follow the links. You can check out the YouTube channel. You can subscribe and get the recording for this webinar and get notified of future webinars. Jump in the Facebook group. Get access to Yolandi, Louise Coiler, Tracy Ashington, and myself, and many other people that can help you on the journey. Cindy Amunga is a regular. Thanks, Cindy. Appreciate you joining us. I think Cindy's almost finished her PhD. So, Cindy, you're well down the track. We should be interviewing you at some point. But thank you for your support and thank you for being here. Yolandi, really good to chat. Have a good Friday and a good weekend.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.